Welcome to Mat Pilates. For this, we will need a mat and your body. Okay? Go ahead and play music that you like and take water breaks whenever you like. So a few things about Pilates is, yes, it is very much focused on breathing, on slow, controlled movements, and about technique. The main thing is that you don't want to be strained in a bad way, but you want to be able to feel the muscles working. If you have any lower back pain, try to keep your feet on the ground. Try lifting your legs, and then if it hurts, put your feet back down. And if you have any neck fatigue, you can always put your head and shoulders back down. However, we do want to try to build on our neck strength, so we are going to try to lift the head, neck, and shoulders up as much as possible. Now, this is different if you have an actual neck injury, in which case you may want to keep your head down the whole time. All right, so we're starting with our breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through pursed lips. So I could say, like there's hot soup in your face, and you're going to blow on it to cool it down. Inhale, feel length through the top of the head. Exhale. Try to keep those shoulders down and relax away from the ears. You want to try to keep this pace of breathing the entire time during this class. Let's take one more breath in. And exhale, round the spine, reach the low back down to the mats, and slowly roll down. My feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to slide my heels back toward my butt. I'm going to continue to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Now, I can't hear you breathe, but you want to try to breathe as if you want everyone to hear you. Exhale. And that kind of forceful exhalation makes you recruit your abdominal muscles a lot more than if you were to just sort of passively release your breath. Inhale and exhale. So probably you're in a neutral spine position right now with a small space under your lower back. We're going to imprint, so that means taking that lower back down to the mats as you exhale. Inhale, tailbone to the floor. Lower back off the mats. Exhale, imprint, lower back to the floor, tailbone off the mats. So this gentle rocking of your pelvis determines whether you'll be an imprint or neutral spine. Inhale to neutral, exhale, imprint. Inhale, back to neutral, and then exhale, imprint. I don't know if you can really see it. This is my exaggeration of my pelvis rocking, but that's an exaggeration. It shouldn't be that much movement. Now with imprint, we're going to lift our legs to tabletop. Now if this bothers your lower back, you can pull your knees a little closer to your chest. But if you're good, then we're going to have the knees right over the hips, and you're going to tap out the legs one at a time. So what will happen is it's harder to keep the imprint when your leg reaches out and taps the floor. Notice my knees are staying at 90 degrees. We're still breathing. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. So you should feel more ab work as you lower the leg. If your knees are closer to your chest and you're lowering the legs or foot closer to the butt, you might not feel as much abs. So figure out what's challenging but doable. If your lower back is coming off the mat, then you do want to tap closer to the floor or maybe just halfway down. And now we're going to try both legs. So same thing, if you feel your lower back come off the mat, you don't need to take your legs all the way down to the floor. And by the way, in terms of where you put your device so you can see me, I have you guys directly to my side so that you can see my full body, but you guys can place your device in a way that you're not having to turn your head constantly. So maybe closer to the feet. All right, last one. Tap down, lift up, drop the heels, and then place your feet hip distance apart on the floor. Inhale, we're going to our shoulder bridge. Exhale, squeeze the butt. Pick up that pencil off the floor and hold it tightly with your glutes. Inhale at the top, shoulders, hips, knees, straight line. Exhale. Don't drop the pencil. Slowly roll down inch by inch, one vertebra at a time, and gently place the pencil on the floor. So when your tailbone's down, then your butt can release. Inhale. Exhale. Pick up the pencil again. Inhale at the top and exhale. The reason why I talk about the pencil sometimes is because a lot of times as we're lowering down, you can actually unclench the butt cheek, right? Other muscles will just take over, like hamstrings and stuff. So you do have to concentrate a little bit to make sure that it's your glutes that are at work. One more time. If a pencil is not valuable to you, then maybe it's a gold pen. Pick up your gold pen and slowly rolling down, keeping the engagement of the glutes until your tailbone hits the floor. All right, we're going to take our hands to the thighs here, and my hands are going to slide up towards my knees as I nod my chin. Use my abs to lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades. So right here, my abs are contracted. Inhale, hold. Exhale, slowly roll down. My arms aren't really doing anything. They're just attached to my shoulders. Inhale, exhale. Because your shoulder blades came off the mat, that means your shoulders came towards your knees. So your arms should reach closer toward your knees. Nice and slow. Inhale, nod the chin. You do want to look at your knees. You don't want to look at the ceiling. That causes a lot of strain. On this inhale here, you can either hold or you can lift a little higher. And then exhale, take it all the way down. 2 more times. Inhale, prepare, exhale. Inhale, maybe another half an inch. Exhale. Last time here. Good, going to 100, we're going to be reaching the arms toward the toes, pumping them 100 times. You can keep your feet on the ground where they just were. You can have them here, pumping. You can have your legs here or here on the diagonal. No matter what leg position you pick, you want to keep that imprint. For today, I'm going to go between bent knee to diagonal. Okay, so every X number of counts, I'm going to be changing my leg position. Doesn't mean you have to. Nod the chin, imprint the spine, reach those arms, eye gaze on the knees, start to pump those arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, straighten. Inhale, exhale, bend, inhale, exhale, straighten, inhale, exhale, bend, 40, exhale, straighten, 50, exhale, 60, inhale, exhale, 70, and there's 80, straighten for 90, and our last 10, go ahead and bend your knees, slowly lower the head, neck, and shoulders, and make your way to your stomach. So for our stomach, we're on our stomach, we're working on the muscles around the spine. So lifting the chest just until the upper rib cage is exposed. Gently press into those forearms. And then exhale on the lowering. It's fine to press into your forearms as much as needed, but you do want to make sure that you feel your spine muscles working. All right, it doesn't take a lot of lift. Inhale to lift, chin tucked, head and neck aligned with the spine. Tops of the feet will stay on the mat for now. Let's do a couple more with arm assistance. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Last time with arm assistance. Putting as little pressure into the forearms as possible. Reaching those arms back. Allow the shoulders to come forward into the mat. On the inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the arms, and then reach toward the toes. Get a little more lift in the chest maybe, a little more opening, more width in the chest. Exhale, lower. Let those shoulders come down. Let gravity just take your shoulders down. And then inhale to lift. Retract the shoulder blades. Reach the arms. My eye gaze is always on the floor though, because it's not about lifting with my neck muscles. We're lifting the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Last one. You can take the hands underneath the shoulders, push yourself up, and give yourself a stretch. So round the spine here. Rolling over like you're rolling over a beach ball. We're going to come into a plank. So I want you to actually be on your knees for a moment. I want you to get those forearms back on the ground, the elbows under the shoulders. And I want you to try and experiment, like either palms down or fists facing each other, but to really kind of push into those forearms. I'm going to remind you about that later. And then from here, we're going to straighten one leg. And as you straighten that one leg, start to squeeze the quadriceps. Squeeze the abdominals. And then finally straighten your other leg. Squeeze the butt, quadriceps, and abs. Now, if you feel it in your abs, then you're right in the right position. Now, if your butt's a little too high, you might not feel it in your abs, so you gotta lower the hips a little bit. And if you're too low, you might feel something in your lower back. All right, so you really try to squeeze your butt and abs almost equally, because that's what gives you that neutral spine and neutral pelvis. Now, let's revisit those arms again. Press into those forearms. Not to the point where you're separating your shoulder blade, but just to get those shoulder muscles engaged. And by now we've already held it for like probably 30 seconds and we didn't even think about it. So let's just take 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale. Keep those quads squeezing right around those knees. Inhale and exhale. Good. And that's the plank. The plank that we love. All right, we're back to our seated position. Half roll back. When you roll halfway back, gravity wants to pull you all the way down. I talk a lot about gravity. It's like some weird enemy of ours. No, it actually gives us a lot of resistance. Just to leverage our body the right way. So if you go about halfway down, that's usually where gravity has its greatest pull on your abs. Nice stuff. You don't want to go too low. Exhale to lean back. Inhale to come forward. Shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears. If you go too far back, you might not feel it. All right, we're gonna be Katniss from Hunger Games. We're gonna pull that bow and arrow. Did you know that she's left-handed? So she pulls with her left hand. Did you guys notice that about her? I was slightly obsessed about her for a little while. All right, so you pull the right elbow back. There is a little rotation of your rib cage. That's fine. It's normal. So you don't need to fight the rotation. Pull. You should feel more work in the abs. Whether or not you fully lengthen at the top, it's up to you. This is more about the half roll back than about the sitting up very tall at the top. Good, one more each side. Watch those shoulders. Also, I'm not bringing the other arm around. It's staying straight in front of me. And I'm also trying to keep my toes glued to the floor. Good, I'm gonna roll all the way down. Slowly. All right, we're gonna extend, lift one leg to tabletop. The tabletop is when your shin is the parallel top of the table, and this is the table leg. Biceps by the ears. This is our assisted roll up. Inhale, arms to the ceiling, nod the chin. Use your abs to start to roll up the spine. At the same time, you straighten out your leg. Reach forward for that stretch, hamstring stretch, lower back stretch. Inhale. Now on your way back, this is where different challenges can be had. You can keep your arms straight forward as you slowly roll down, or you can raise your arms a little higher. Let's try it the other side. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders, exhale, reach. So you want this to be a nice, slow, smooth, controlled roll up. However, if you need a little bit of momentum to get yourself up, that's fine. Because you do want to get yourself up so that you can do the roll down. If you want more challenge during the roll down, bring your arms closer to the ears. Squeeze your legs. Your legs aren't just lying there. They are engaged and anchored to the floor. I'm going to give you some variations here. You can keep this leg off the ground. A little more challenge to the quads. So the muscles around your kneecaps. Gives a lot of support to your knees. Inhale, exhale. Good, you're not going to be able to do as much of a hamstring stretch here when the leg's lifted, right? Because you can't just dive forward. But this is part of the challenge. So skip the hamstring stretch, really work the hip flexor and quads, and I'm rolling down. And then finally I place the leg down and I lift the other leg. The reason why this leg is bent is so that when you shoot the leg out, it can help with the roll up. Nice and smooth, inhale, exhale. Keep the leg up if you like. Inhale, start to roll back. Exhale, the rest of the way down. All right, and if you've done teasers with me before, this obviously looks similar to a teaser, right? Because the knees are bent. So we're just doing one leg at a time. We're gonna do two more, one on each leg. Any version you want. Inhale. Exhale. So teaser, we just have both legs off the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Roll down. Hug the knees in. Stretch one leg out. Higher. Less challenge to the in-front. Less challenge to the abs. Lower. More challenge. You can do kind of a mix of the two, what's called a scoop. So my toes like dip into the sand, scoop up the sand, and I don't know, flick it away somewhere. So today we're going to do single leg stretch with a little scoop. Reach down, scoop, lift. Or you can just extend it straight out like this without the scoop. Head, neck, and shoulders, I challenge you to have it up for as long as you can. And then when it's fatigued, you place it back down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. This kind of looks like we're riding the bicycle backwards. Okay, take the hands behind the head. Rotate. So no more scooping unless you can coordinate the scooping. I find like it's too much. So I'm going to just rotate side to side, looking towards the bent knee, keeping those elbows nice and wide. So in this position, the head and neck are being supported by the arms, but the arms, when they're behind the head and neck, actually add more weight to your upper body. So that means your abs have to work harder. So there's pros and cons to having an arm behind the head is basically what I'm saying. Double leg stretch. Couple variations here. High and lower. And then the combination, which is up to you if you want to do, head, neck, shoulder. You go high, low, high, return. All right, so let me just phrase this. If you're newer to Pilates, go out at any angle, come back in. Exhale, reach and in. Reach and in. Head, neck, and shoulders can be down or it can be up. And then a variation of that is exhale, reach, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, inhale, return. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep alternating the breath. You decide the angles of the arms and legs. Yes, it goes from higher to lower, but nowhere do I say how high or how low. Give me a couple more. So again, this is one of those things where by picking different angles, you find what's challenging for your body. Challenging but doable. Last one. Good. I'm going to lower my head for a moment while I prep for my scissors. So you want your legs as straight and vertical as possible. I'm going to grab behind the calves of one leg, let the other one fall away. You should hopefully feel a hamstring stretch here. This is all about quad and hip flexor strengthening, hamstring stretch. Inhale, switch. Exhale. Head and shoulders can be on or off the ground. Inhale, exhale. Inhale the scissor, exhale the hold. Try not to yank on your leg too much. It's a gentle guidance. And now we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. And because we're picking up the pace, I'm going to have you not touch your legs because it just takes too much to grab back and forth. All right, so reach your arms down away from the shoulders and start to double at the pace. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Last pair. Last two exhales. And done. Okay. Our abs are tired, so I'm going to flip over. Stack those hands. Remember what I said about your arms? If they're around your head, they generally add more resistance. So I'm going to add resistance here. Stack your forehead right on top. Inhale to lift arms and chest. And you'll feel your spine muscles working a little bit more because you are now lifting the weight of your arms. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. We're going to do 5 with our feet on the ground and 5 with our legs lifted. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. The reason why we inhale on the way up is because our rib cage naturally expands a little bit on that inhale. I think that was 5. Let's do some leg lifts. You want your feet at least shoulder distance apart. Inhale, exhale. The legs are going to be straight. Lift those thighs right off the ground. Good. It's never how high you lift, okay? Just by lifting a little bit off the ground, like you should feel your spine and your lower back and your glutes. All right, go ahead and sit back into your stretch. So we counterbalance all our ab work with a little bit of spine work. We're never going to do as much spine work as ab work. It's just the way it is. Oh, geez, hair's falling. All right, we're into our glutes. So you might be wondering why our glutes being done in Pilates is because it's part of our core musculature. Anything that attaches to your pelvis and your spine, all that stabilizes your midsection. So glutes, outer thighs, inner thighs, they're all very much a part of your core muscles. Push yourself up without articulation. I'm going to have you place your hands right on your hips, like your hip bones. Feel this nubby thing. And I want you to sort of have a challenge with yourself where your hips are pushing up, but I want your hands to pull down. All right, so pull down, like your elbows are going to go through the floor, engage those lats, press into those hips. Like you just don't want your butt to go up. At the same time, you're pushing with your butt up. This is called isometrics, right? Where it's like arm wrestling. Each person is pushing in the opposite direction and there's no movement. Well, there's no movement if people have equal strength. All right, we were up there for a little while. Hopefully you weren't holding your breath. So that's what I'd like you to consider doing. You can always keep your hands down here and not give yourself that extra resistance, okay? So if you want, this is an option. As you push your hips up into those hands, you're gonna push down. All right, enough of this 2-foot work. We're gonna do the single leg stuff. All right, same thing. But when you lift with one side, if you push down on this side, you don't wanna tilt yourself over. You wanna just give yourself enough resistance that it's more challenging, but not so much that you actually beat yourself, okay? So I'm pushing down, straighten that leg, lower it on the diagonal, lift again, bend, and lower. Now, lower your butt. That should be pretty challenging if you are pushing down the whole time. Let's try the other side. Lift. Create that pull down. Really dig your elbows into the floor. Now lift the leg. Both hips are still at the same height. Straighten the leg. Extend the leg on the diagonal. Keep pushing down. I know you can't tell if I'm actually pushing, but I am. Lift, bend, return. Final little push down while the hips are pushing up, and then relax. I know there's a huge tendency when you're doing this kind of stuff, this kind of isometric, like you want to hold your breath, but really try to keep breathing. All right? Doesn't matter if I say exhale and you're inhaling, just make sure you're doing something. All right, inhale, prepare, exhale, lift. First leg is going up. Inhale, Inhale here, exhale, straighten. Inhale to lower on the diagonal. Exhale, lift nice and straight. Inhale, bend, exhale, lower. Inhale for one more hold. Exhale, lower it in. I'm actually not really moving my hands, I'm just kind of keeping where they are, so that's where I expect my hips to be. Both hips. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. Inhale, knees bent. Exhale, straighten. Inhale. On the diagonal. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale. One more breath, we hold here. So this is your last chance right here to really push those hips up as you're pulling down. And by the way, when I say push the hips up, we're not going into hyperextension. We're staying in neutral. And lower those hips. All right, relax those arms. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna lift and lower 3 times without the hip thing, without pushing down your hip, okay? So hands down, inhale, prepare, exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, take the leg straight up in the air. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, 2, lower. Inhale, lift, 3, lower. Last time, up, bend, and down. Lower those hips. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift the hips. Other leg goes up. Inhale, all the way up straight. Exhale, down for 1, up. Down for 2. Down for 3. Bend the knee. Place the foot down. Feels different. So much easier, right, when you're not pulling your hips down. Good. Hug your knees. Create a little bit of massage here. In case you push your hips a little higher than you intended to, what happens is when you hyperextend, sometimes you feel a little bit in the lower back. So one thing you can do is just to roll it out and relax it by curling into a little ball. From here, we're going to do a reverse curl, roll over prep. Roll over prep, we're not going to go all the way over. Use your hands if needed. We're going to start in tabletop. We're going to extend the leg on the high diagonal, and with a little bit of momentum, pull the knees in and then kick upward and slightly over. We're not going to kick over my head. I would say maybe my feet is around where my chest is. So a little bit of momentum is okay. Reach it out. Challenge here, abs. pull in, kick, and then reset. Extend. Inhale, pull in, exhale, kick. Inhale, reset. Exhale, reinforce that imprint. Inhale, exhale. All right? Let's try to do this one at a time in again, a little bit of momentum, but mostly controlled. Exhale, reach out on the diagonal. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, hip lift. Inhale, lower, reset. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So if you lift up and come down as slowly as you can, really pressing those arms, you might even feel a little triceps, which is nice. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now, if you like, you can bypass the bent knee part. Keep your legs straight. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale on the diagonal, that reinforces the imprint. Inhale here, exhale. Use your abdominals, use that breath to help contract the abs, to lift that tailbone right off the ground. Let's try 2 more. You can keep doing the bent knee version. I'm just giving you a straight leg option. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last time. Good, so that's the rollover prep variation. We're not going to do the full rollover today, but that's still, in fact, sometimes I think the rollover prep is relatively challenging. All right, if you can come to your side here. Oh. Okay, we're not going to be like that. We're going to be like this. So you want to straighten yourself and align yourself to the edge of the mat. So rough estimate here, you can come parallel. Take your top arm up and just make sure you feel a little unstable. That's how you know you're on the right position. You should be just on the side of your body. If there's a seam on your pants, that's where you are. And you can place your hands back down. A few fingers kickstand. Good. All 10 toes are going to face forward, kneecaps face forward for your neutral alignment. This is externally rotated where the knees face up, and this is internally rotated where your kneecaps face down. So we're neutral. Inhale, lift the top leg, no higher than the hip, because we want our hips stacked. And if you lift your leg too high, see how my hip heights? We don't want that. So hips, there, good. Inhale, point, lift, exhale, flex, lower. So let's get some movement in our ankle joint if we can. Point, reach the toes as much as you can, strong quads, lock knees. Yeah. It should be okay to lock your knees out when there isn't like resistance against it. Just holding it up against air. Inhale, point, lift, exhale, flex, lower. So this is our side lying series. And it works on our outer thighs, which is important because it helps stabilize our pelvis laterally. There's a lot of different variations of stuff you can do here. Hold the leg up. You can point or keep your foot flexed. We're going to make little circles, size of a ping pong ball. Inhale, one very slow circle. Exhale, another slow circle. Inhale, and exhale. We're trying to hold our leg parallel to the floor. Inhale, and the circle is so small that your leg is still mostly parallel, even with that slight height difference. 6 in each direction. Inhale. Keep that neutral orientation of your leg. Okay, the leg stays still. Bring the bottom one up to meet it and lower the bottom one. So think about holding isometrically the top leg, squeezing it nice and tight. The bottom leg's inner thigh is doing work to bring the bottom leg to the top leg. And the top leg should be not so high that you can't. And by the way, if your feet are cramping or if you just want to stretch your calves a little bit, then do everything with flexed feet. Try to pick an active foot position, either pointed or flexed. Okay, so now we're going to do heel clicks. So hold both legs up and then click, click. You can do it toes pointed too. they call them heel clicks, but you're basically clicking your feet. Click. So what's happening? Your obliques are engaged. If you don't need the kickstand hand, you don't need it. You can take it off. Put it here. Put it here. All right, that's enough clicking. From here, splits. One goes forward, one goes back. Try to keep them both at that same height. If your legs need a rest, place them on the ground. Take a little break. Jump back in when you're ready. One goes forward, one goes back. Keep alternating your breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Last one. Place your feet on the ground and lift into the torso. So my bottom palm here is pressing down, and I do press into that floor quite a lot, actually. And I'm also pressing into my fingers. You can press into your heel. But no matter how much you press, you should still feel some obliques, all right? And if you don't feel any obliques, you can take away one hand. Maybe you can't really take away this hand. I mean, you can, but if you take away the top hand, you have one less hand pushing. And then if you really want to feel the oblique, you can lift one leg, or you can lift both legs. So we're going to do 6 more of these, and you can either pick 1 or 2 legs to lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Want to try without the hand. So it's a lateral motion, so try not to swing your legs forward and pike. So we're not piking here. Last 2. Okay. Did you feel it right here? All right, we're actually not done with this side. We'll be done in 2 seconds. Pull your leg forward, your knees forward, like you're sleeping in a fetal position. So your knees are roughly about the same, like, I guess, heights as your hips. So about 90 degrees at the hip, about 90 degrees at the knees. Like you're sitting in a chair, but lying sideways. And then from here, I want you to lift the entire leg. So not just the foot, not just the knee. We are going to do that actually in 2 seconds, but for now we're going to lift both. No higher than the hip. Or about parallel. Exhale, inhale. And then from here, hold, foot tap, foot tap. So if you look at my knee orientation, it's facing forward, then it faces upward. So I'm doing external rotation. It's important to work our external rotators, which have official names. I just don't remember any of them. I've always remembered the official names of quads and hamstring muscles, but I can't remember any of the external rotators. Okay, hold it, just the knees. This is internal rotation. Dip that knee in. So the challenge here is keeping your foot almost the same spot in space. I mean, sometimes we like really lift the leg, lift the foot, but if you try to minimize that that foot motion, because there's more control in the muscles, I feel more muscles. Does anyone feel like their leg is about to fall off? I forgot to count. I just base it until it hurts a lot. Okay. Let's do a quick stretch. That top leg is going to go over the bottom leg, knee, and then we're going to switch sides. And you might have felt that took forever, but it didn't. It probably took like 5 minutes. You guys still with me? All right. Find a nice straight line on the other side. I like to push my hips down. Sometimes, like by default, it's just in a hip height position. Push my hip down. Set the kickstand. Inhale, point, lift. Exhale, flex, lower. Inhale, point, lift. Exhale, flex, lower. 5 minutes, guys. So if our pelvis is unstable, then our spine won't be stable because our spine inserts into the pelvis. So it's really critical to have all of these muscles around the pelvis be strong. Internal and external rotators, inner and outer thigh muscles, hamstrings, quads, glutes. Okay, hold that top leg up. Remember, don't get it too high because we don't want the hip to hike. So push those hips down again. Small circles, very small. Size of what? A ping pong ball? A golf ball? Keep alternating your breath. Inhale for a circle, exhale. Reverse direction, and don't worry too much if it's not an actual circle shape. You can draw a teardrop. You can draw a diamond. I don't know about sharp angles. You can draw an amoeba, a cell. Cells are not perfectly round, I don't think. Okay, hold the top leg still, bring the bottom one up to meet it, and then lower. This is the full range. Squeeze and think about the inner thigh of the bottom leg. I know the top leg is tired and you're probably thinking a lot about it. Let's focus on the bottom leg. And again, options to flex the foot. Feel free to bring the top leg down a little bit if your bottom leg is not meeting it. You do want the heels to meet because the very next movement is going to be the heel clicks, which we'll go ahead and start that. Click, click, click. We're doing it too fast for me to count. We'll just do it until we want to do something else. Does anyone remember the sequence? Everything kind of flows into the other. We're going to do scissors next. So both legs are already up, and you're just going to split it. It's not about how much of a split you do. It's about trying to keep both legs up and moving in a controlled manner so your body is not like spazzing and moving. Like you don't want to be like a fish flopping out of water. Everything waist and above should be still. Abdominals are stabilizing. Okay, last two. Okay, what do I do after this? Did I do something else? All right, bring your knees forward. And then imagine there's like a row of drinks on your shin. And you don't want to spill any of them. So you gotta keep your shin level as you lift and lower. Oh my God, I know what I totally forgot. This whole side bend thing. It's okay, we'll do it after this. Was somebody trying to get my attention and be like, Fen, you forgot the whole side bend thing? We'll end with it. Okay, so we have this, and then we gotta work on our external and internal rotators. So lift the leg, external first. That means the foot goes down, and the knee. If you need to put a hand on the knee, you can, just to make sure it doesn't change its position in space. At this point, you don't really need your kickstand hand. About 4 more. Inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale. Choice is up to you. Just make sure you're breathing. You always know I'm breathing because I'm talking. Okay, internal. What does that mean? Need it. Well, that burned a lot. A lot of people favor either internal or external rotation. You can sort of tell sometimes by the way you squat. Like your knees tend to buckle in. Sometimes you can tell by the way people walk too. It's not like, I mean, as adults, it's really hard to change anything, but it's good to be aware of it, especially if you have any knee or hip pains. Like, that's one thing you could look at. Like, is it related to my desire to want to internally rotate more than external? Okay, you're gonna straighten your legs back out. Okay. Lift your torso. So make sure you're straight again. We're still within 5 minutes. Maybe more into 6 minutes. Almost there. If you want to take away that kickstand hand, you can. Lift the top leg. Lift both legs. Hands off. I just let it slide down towards my knees. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Remind me next time to teach this movement and then do the scissors. No? Oh, okay. All right, last one. Definitely hit those obliques. And then roll into your back, and your top leg should be the other one that we have not stretched yet. All right, I'm going to finish with the teaser today. And we've actually done several moves that are quite similar to the teaser. One of them was this move, right? And then the other move was this move. Okay, so they're all kind of similar. So we start with our knees at tabletop, arms overhead. And similar to the roll up, we're going to kick those legs out. But then when we kick the legs out, the feet will stay off the ground. Inhale, arms, head, shoulder blades. Exhale, kick the legs out. Use that kick out to roll up your spine. Pull your knees back in if you need to because you have tight hamstrings. And find your balance. Inhale here, keep your arms here. Or inhale to bring your arms up. Exhale, stretch those legs out again as you roll down with control. And finally, bring your knees in. Inhale, arms, head, shoulder blades. Exhale, legs and spine. Option to keep the legs straight. Inhale, if you want, arms up, or keep them here. Exhale, roll down. Leg straight option. So I'm just showing you a couple options, and then we're going to do 3 more. Leg straight option, inhale, arms, head, shoulders. I lower the legs, which allows that weight shift to happen for me to roll up. Inhale, exhale. So this is all about physics, body positions, body leverage, counterbalance. 3 more, inhale, exhale, inhale. You don't have to raise the arms. Remember, depending on where your arms are, it can create different challenges to your abdominals. 2 more, inhale, exhale. We're all here. Hey, claps. Give yourself a clap. You gotta do it underneath the legs though. Just kidding. You can clap anywhere you like. Last one. Inhale. These are challenging. So I must remind you, breathe. Don't hold your breath. Inhale, last one. Exhale. Come on down. All right, we're gonna do an ab stretch here. I know we worked our abs there. So you can be on your elbows where you feel the length in your abdominals right here, or you can press up a little bit, which will give even more abdominal lengthening. Well done, everyone. Should hopefully feel a combination of stronger, let's sit back, come to your hands and knees. Should feel a little combination of feeling stronger, yet also more stretched, more revived. No, hopefully you should feel good after Pilates. Notice as I lift my tailbone, my spine naturally moves with it. This is what I mean about your spine inserting into your pelvis. Like move your pelvis. Like it's just impossible that it doesn't affect your lower back and the rest of your spine. Now the one thing it doesn't affect is your neck, right? So that's part of your spine and the neck, the cervical spine, but it can move independently of the rest. So I could drop my head here, but I shouldn't because I want to keep it in line with the spine. And then when I tuck the tailbone under, I could keep my head lifted, but I don't really want to. It doesn't feel good, and it doesn't move with the alignment of my spine. Which brings me to the point of, my hair's a mess. No, not to the point of my hair's a mess, of posture. Right? If we have a rounded posture, if my head was to stay aligned with my posture, I'd be staring down at my knees. I don't think that's where my laptop is though. My screen is there. So now my neck is in a constant hyperextended state, which is not great. So what we got to do to look at the screen is really think about our posture. Lifting the chest, shoulders back and down. All that good stuff. All right, thank you so much for joining. Reach those arms up, nice big stretch. This is something really great to do if you're sitting at your chair, at your desk, or any time of day. Just need to stand up and stretch. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, did somebody write in the chat what I forgot? Oh.